Today, Noah and I are here at the Upper Landing in Odom, Georgia, in Wayne County. This is where the site of Fort James was. This area right here, it was 5 square miles. So you notice part of this area, put it always on the river, and we're gonna go see what the river looks like out here. This is a look of Upper Landing, where Fort James was. A fort before America was established, also used by America later on for 20 years. Okay, it's right here on the Altamaha River. About to go take a look at it. Let's go, Noah. It's actually a boat launch. Yeah, she got life vest out here for you. Look at the boat launch, Noah. You can see why they chose this as a fort. How high the ground is up here. Go up these steps, Noah. This is the Upper Landing. Okay, we're to the top up here. Doing a pavilion up here. And this is the high ground. Somebody put some graffiti on there. This is the Upper Landing. This is another look at it from here. You can tell they probably had the fort about right here, where this high area is, because there's a high bluff right here. And you can see the parking lot out there, how low it is. But this would be the ideal place for a fort. Look, the elevation over here is really, really high. As you can tell, I'll show you when I go down these steps. Good place for a fort. See how high it is? See how high that is out there? That's Altamaha River. Just look at the elevation here. More likely the fort was up here on this high area where that is. Noah and I are about to go down the boat ramp, take a look at the Altamaha River. Look at all these things here. Oh, this is a big boat ramp, look. And there's Altamaha River. Just look again how high this elevation is here. Because you always back then wanted to build everything on the high ground. Fort James was built in 1790. And this is Odom, Georgia, but it was another county at that time. In the 1800s, this area served as a trading post because everybody traveled down water during before the invention of the car. Everybody used river power, ocean power to get around everywhere. This fort, which was probably more likely up here or in this whole area, this is where they crossed to go to the other side of the river, and this fort protected people going across the river when they ferried across. State of Georgia gave the U.S. government a 5 square mile area near Beards Bluff right here in this area to build a fort. So this Fort James was 5 square miles, so it was more than just this area. The fort was probably just in this area right here, but the whole area was there. This whole area was their living area where they could build houses, have farms. Back in the early days, this was part of Appling County, so this was a fort to defend Appling County, which later became Wayne County. Fort James was also a diplomatic post as well. It was a stockade style fort, usually with your wood and your block houses built out of wood. The militia met right here at Fort James with the Indian chiefs to settle disputes. This was a diplomatic post that they used in that late 1700s, early 1800s to settle disputes within local Native Americans, the Indian chiefs. There's actually a drawing of Fort James by a soldier who was stationed here, and it survived. He sent it to his wife in a letter, and he gave the description and where it was and how big it was and the style of fort was. Okay, this is a drawing and a map of Fort James that was drawn by a soldier who was stationed there, sent it to his wife. You could tell it was a stockade style fort, like it was made out of wood during that time. And you can see the 4 bastions on each corner, because all those forts always had bastions to defend the fort. And you can see the buildings in the middle and on the top. This was a diplomatic post. This was a fort. This was the one over here where Upper Landing is in Wayne County, Georgia. Okay, this is a map of Fort James, where it was. You can see where the star is where Fort James was located. And right next to it's Upper Landing, where I was shooting this video. So this star is right where that bluff is. So exactly where the fort was on the high ground. This is just another map to prove where it was. This is a map of Upper Landing in Wayne County near Madre Springs. This is where Fort James was. You gotta remember, Fort James had an area of 5 square miles. So within this circle or even bigger than this circle, was where Fort James was and the living areas of the people that lived there. So there's a lot of history out there. Upper Landing and that area is where the fort was, because there's a big high bluff there. And all around this area where these houses and different places are is where probably people had homes and or even like barracks and all kinds of stuff. So this whole area out here was 5 miles that would belong to Fort James on the Altamaha River. They don't know the exact location of Fort James, but it was in this area right here where we're at. And but it was 5 square miles, so it could be anywhere in the 5 square miles of this area. But right here looks like a good spot because of the elevation and the river being right here. Look at that. It's probably about, what, 50 feet out there? Maybe 30. 30 feet out there. And this is the Altamaha River where the Fort James overlooked. Right here. Somewhere in this area. But this is the boat ramp at Upper Landing near where Fort James was. Really awesome. See, I'm standing in the parking lot of Upper Landing, and you can see how high that is from here. 30 or 40 feet. Look how low it is to the river. What's it doing?
I don't know.
It's under surveillance. Where's it? All in all, the Upper Landing is a pretty nice boat launch. It's got like a little area there to have a picnic if you want to. And it's out in the middle of nowhere. And take one more last look of Upper Landing where Fort James was. Right here. Awesome. Upper Landing is also known as Gleason Copeland Landing as well. So Upper Landing and also known as Gleason Copeland Landing, where Fort James is located. Look at this. I found some kind of trail out here. Some kind of nature trail. I don't know where it goes. I'm not going to follow it today. I wish I could. But this is over here at Upper Landing. We're also known as Gleason Landing. You to notice how even the parking lot it bows down. It's like a bowl. You can see it all the way around.